Hello and welcome to episode 115 of the Talk Nintendo podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Casey Gibson, and joining me this fine evening, as always, in a chilly one, actually, here in Charleston, the one, the only, Mr. Perry Burkum.
It's Christmas time!
It's only fitting that with the Christmas jingles comes the nice cool air. And
speaking of cool air...
Yep, from the great What North. The man who's on a 5-second permanent
Oh yeah,
delay.
I forgot. He's from Canada too, yeah.
Mr. David Lloyd.
How's it going, gentlemen?
Oh, it's going so good.
So
It's going very good.
It's Slush City up here.
But that's about it. It's what city?
Slush City. Slushy?
Oh, Slush City.
Slush
See,
City.
It's not slushy here. It's just frozen city here. It's so cold.
Well, today, it got up to, I think it was a high of like 59, and I think tomorrow's not even gonna get over 50. So that's pretty darn cold for here.
So what's that temperature in the rest of the world?
That's balmy.
Yeah, so in the rest of the world, it's probably frigid.
Oh, you know,
Is that what, like
the only
10
thing that I like
Celsius?
Fahrenheit. Yeah, but hold on. Quick aside here.
Celsius.
Fahrenheit is so much better for when you're telling the weather because it's so much more descriptive. Like the 10s and the 20s and the 30s and the 40s. With Celsius, it's like it's 12 degrees or it's 13 degrees, and like 15 to like 10 is like completely different.
Yep.
It was
Celsius
more descriptive
is
in the
stupid.
It was more descriptive in the 1800s.
But hold on. For everything else, Celsius is fantastic, and I like Celsius. But you know what I'm saying? It's like in Fahrenheit, you have the 70s and you have the 80s, and they're all like just really. It's very nice to tell the weather.
I would say
That
Celsius is much like the Coke of weather, you know, of the degrees. It starts with a C. It's like Coke, not as good. Will work in a pinch, but Pepsi's where it's at, baby. Just like Fahrenheit.
You know what, Case? I'm gonna let you say that.
You can't even argue.
Pepsi is the Fahrenheit. I'll totally agree with that. Actually,
I'm gonna stick with the
agree.
unit of measurement where 0 denotes where the freezing point actually is.
Yeah, Casey, you can keep Fahrenheit.
Yep, and I will.
Anywho, enough with these funny ice-breaking chats. Ice-breaking, pun intended. But yeah, David. So shut up! Don't boo me. You're just jealous. Everyone boos puns because they're jealous, and that's the only reason.
Oh, I wasn't booing the pun. I was just booing you. This had nothing to do with the pun.
Oh, okay. But yeah, we thought it'd be fun to have David on. I don't know why.
I mean, from time to time,
I
it's like you need to bring in one of those. Yeah.
No, you're already here.
You bring in one of those guests that make all the other guests seem way better, you know? I'm just kidding.
Oh, man.
David the Bell Curve Lloyd.
My goodness.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
Casey, you're a jerk. You're pert jerkum.
Yeah.
Cassie jerkum.
It happens.
Yeah. Well, so I guess, do we have any quick bites today?
Oh, we got some quick bites, baby.
All right, so let's do it.
All right, I've got a pair of quick bites here. First, we'll start with good old Pokemon Let's Go. Wrapped it up, put a bow on her. She's done. I beat the Elite Four.
Oh, you did?
Yep, and I even went out and I caught Mewtwo afterwards. So that was the icing on the cake. I felt like you couldn't just leave Mewtwo up there all alone, you know, without dropping that beautiful Master Ball on him. And was it you who I was talking with about, like, oh, what happens if the Master Ball just missed?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I saved it beforehand, and I was totally going to just give it the old air ball. But
yeah, do it.
The second you throw it, it goes into an animation, like a little cutscene, and it does like the old, like,
yeah, okay.
Picked him up.
Man.
So yeah, you can't. Yeah, it would have been funny, like, oops.
And it's just gone.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry. Oh, and we autosave after the Master Ball's used, so you can't reuse it.
Yeah, we don't want any cheaters.
Yeah. Yep, so put a bow on that game. I doubt I'll be going back. I finished with around, I think it was one shy, I think I had 74 Pokemon caught. So just about halfway through the Pokedex. Yeah, fun game.
Quitter.
Yeah, you loser. My biggest thing
Can
is
you really
that,
ever be done Pokemon?
yeah, 151. And then you move on to gold and silver or whatever. I will say I'm excited about the idea of what the next Pokemon's gonna look like, because I hope they keep in no random battles. I hope it's all similar to Let's Go, where you could run into them, but coming in a brand new region, they'll be able to mix better, where you can catch and battle Pokemon at the same time, where you don't run into that, like, oh, you're on the SSN, you're just steamrolling trainers because you can't catch any Pokemon, you know? So hopefully I'd have a better balance that way. My second quick bite would be...
Hold on.
Bringing it back.
I'm going to add to you. I'm going to also quick bite on... because I don't want to come back to Pokemon.
You've been noshing
for a second. Yeah, I think I only have what, 4 of the badges so far. I've just been slowly. I haven't got a lot of time.
I thought you were gonna say 4 of the Pokemon.
Yeah,
I only have 4
Jesus.
Pokemon.
You need to step up your game,
Pidgey,
bro.
Got Pidgey and Oddish, and I caught a Rattata yesterday.
A
Rattata. How do you call it?
I think they're Ratatas or something.
Isn't that annoying? Isn't that a stupid name?
I don't think I've ever really said the name out loud too much.
Rattata. I've always said it in my head as Rattata, like ever since I was a kid.
Like a
David, what do you call it?
That little mouse.
Yeah.
The little purple mouse.
You mean the one you one shot and never look back at again?
That thing I stepped on the way to Peter City.
Yes. Well, yeah. So it's so funny. I got to the part where you get in the Sylph scope from the rocket.
You see them
and
ghosties.
It's so funny, right? Because I cannot, and what I said last week was just how the bare minimum was put into this game for the production wise, like for what they wanted to do. Like, you know, I gave the example of if you're playing co-op, then anytime a certain cutscene happens, the person just disappears off the screen. They just warp up into the sky because they didn't want to have to edit, you know, more code in for what if there's an actual person standing there. Anyway, it hit its peak during the finding the Sylph scope in the rocket hideout. Like at the end, you know, they do this special thing where they throw spoilers, because this is like a new thing for the Pokemon. So if you guys want to hear this, then skip ahead 30 seconds. But they, instead of getting the Sylph scope, like when you get the key for the elevator, he like throws it up onto the wall, and he's like, "You can't get it up there."
Yeah,
and then and then like you use Pikachu to go get it,
or
but
Eevee.
like the way. Or Eevee, correct. Or Eevee, sorry.
Yeah, jeez.
And so, you know, to get up there, he gives you every clue possible. Maybe you could walk over to that vent that they're zooming on, and you walk over to the vent. Maybe you could step on something, and then you just walk over to the chair and you just press A up to it. I'm gonna put this chair over there, and then it just fades to black, and then it fades back in. Oh, and the chair's there. Good, didn't have to animate that. Now press A. Fades to black. Fades back in. Now I'm standing on the chair. Okay, now I'm gonna have, you know, now Pikachu's gonna jump up there. Fade to black. Fade back in. Oh, now Pikachu's up there, and now you're controlling him. So it's like, how can we do this without providing any sort of animation at all? You know, we don't want to animate anything. We use the fade to black button, boss.
But bust out the Adobe.
Yeah, it was just mind-boggling. I mean, it's like, you know, I don't see how that's so hard, but it's like, we don't need to do it, so don't do it. And I guess it took me out of it. I thought I was just chuckling. I was a chucklehead, Case.
Well, you always are.
I am, yeah. So, but anyway, beside all that, I am having fun. It's a good game. It's not as easy. Like, you know, like I've kind of been like you can't really just coast, like you kind of have to catch a lot of Pokemon, you know, like grind, if you will. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
because they don't give you a lot of experience from trainer battles.
After Lavender Town, when you head west, there's this one guy with this Sea King with the horn drill, and he like one-shot every single one of my Pokemon. Oh my goodness, like out of nowhere. And
David, we found the one person who lost in Pokemon.
No, I didn't lose. I didn't lose. That was the first time that
you just
one of
told
my
me
Pokemon
all
had
of your
fainted.
Pokemon got one shot.
I was exaggerating.
All I heard was I got a bunch of weak Pokemon.
What a loser!
Oh,
he has a bunch of weak Pokemon.
He apparently wasn't petting his Pikachu enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't pet my virtual Pokemon.
You guys are sick perverts, especially
You're the sick pervert.
Especially Perry.
Well,
with his weak team.
Anyway,
if you had 6 Pokemon, maybe you would have got it past him.
Yeah,
I had 6. What is the matter with you? I was just saying that he got 2 of my Pokemon. That's all I was saying.
Oh, now it's 2. I thought
I was
all
trying to
of
make
them.
an anecdote.
Yeah.
You're taking all of this to a very unfunny level. But okay. All right. So anyway, I guess I lost my point. There's a guy that has a sea king.
Just like that battle you lost. Oh.
It's not funny. So stupid. Okay. Good job, Casey. Oh man. Anyway, I don't like when David comes on. I don't like you guys double teaming me.
Did we hit the 10-minute mark before it fell off the rails or what?
Yeah. I think we're just shy.
I think it fell off the rails before we started. Before the clap from 10 seconds later.
I don't conform to your rules, Perry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
anyway.
Man.
Okay. Okay, so quick bite. Anyway, yeah, Pokemon's pretty good. I like it.
Yep. Space Dave, 99 cents, was on sale for the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, whatever deal. I couldn't believe it. 90% off, down to 99 cents. It was a no-brainer for me.
No-brainer.
We had Jason Cirillo on a while ago, who he actually just recently left Choice Provisions. But Space Dave, I remember you guys talking about it, and I was like, this game looks really cool. Looks like it'd be super fun. And it was just, I never got it for whatever reason. So I
reviewed it for the old site.
Yeah, for 99 cents, I was like, heck yeah, super fun. Little arcade action, sort of blasting enemies, but, you're also losing area on the ground if you don't kill the enemies quick enough that turns into lava. And you can eventually repatch that up by killing certain enemies and throwing their skulls into that lava. But it gets very tough very quickly. So it's one of those, like, you want to aim to not let that ground disappear at all, because that really it's tough enough to just manage everything without all those holes in the ground. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's still on sale. If it is 99 cents, it is a no-brainer and definitely worth checking out. But yeah,
I think it's worth it at $10. So 99 cents is a no-brainer. I love that game. It's a great game.
Yep. But yeah, that's the end of my They're quick bites. And I think David's got a whole entree for us.
All right, let's move into it. What do you got, David?
Well, my November has been playing a whole lot of games from 11-bit studios. So both Nintendo and non-Nintendo.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh,
the smorgasbord, baby.
Sorry, we don't allow guests to talk about Nintendo. That's just a me and Casey type thing.
You can leave.
Just kidding. You're not a guest.
Yeah, you're just a Jimmy.
Yep.
Well, moving on.
All right, so tell us, what are you going to talk about first?
Well, okay, so I'll go through all the games and then I'll rapid fire how well they played. So the first game that I played was Moonlighter, and I think both of you guys played that one. I think for
that's
Nintendo
right.
Switch.
I have that.
Sure
I started playing it. I started playing that game. What do you think about it?
I loved it. I thought it was great. Now that one, it's not developed by 11-bit, but it is published by them. And it was fun. It was like it kind of reminded me of old Zelda, but then added in capitalism. So it was fun. I like the art design, and I was a little apprehensive about the combat at first, but once you start getting different weapons, it feels a lot more fluid.
Yeah, it's very simplistic. I think this sword and shielder is sort of, I mean, I guess you want to upgrade and feel more powerful when you get new weapons, But I don't know, I just felt like that shield was like, ugh,
Yeah, and I like to play all offense, so, I mean, screw the shield, I'll just take the bow and arrow and the spear and everything. So I enjoyed it. It was a great game. Then I moved on from there. I played the PC version of This War of Mine. And that game actually has a Switch version that came out.
Real recently, right?
Well, as of the recording, it came out Tuesday, whatever today is, the 27th. It released today on Switch, and another great game. So this is a strategy simulation. And essentially what it is there's this fictional country that's under war. I think they're either being occupied by another country or civil war, something to that effect. But anyway, there's in the background, soldiers are fighting, and you play as survivors that are just trying to get by until the war ends. And so it goes by a day-night cycle. So during the day, the survivors. So there's the main game. It can be between 1 and 4 survivors that you're controlling, and they essentially are working on things in their beaten down home. They're trying to fix it up. They're trying to build equipment, cook food. They have to sleep. So there's a bunch of different things to consider during the day, and then there is a time limit on what you can do. And so if you hit the time limit, then it'll go into night, or if you've kind of done everything that you can do that day, you can just trigger the night to start. And then at night, you decide if you want to send someone out to another location to scavenge for items. And then you can also have someone guard the house because you can be looted at night. And then you can also assign someone to sleep if they're tired. So then at night, you can send one person out and you go to this other, it's essentially just like another house. Like it's a 2-dimensional. So you're just kind of walking through this other location, trying to find supplies to take home for the next day. So you need to find like food, and you need to find wood and like machinery, because you can at home you can make rat cages to catch food. You can make like water catchers to have a steady supply of water. And so there's all these things that you have to consider while you're trying to keep your survivors alive. And basically the goal of the game is to get to the point where the UN comes and liberates your city. And if you're just playing the main game, that number is arbitrary, like it's just randomly generated, so you don't really know. And there's also a custom campaign that you can actually set up, so you could choose yourself the number of days and that sort of thing. So now the difference between the PC and the Switch versions are pretty close. I do prefer the PC version just because the way that it works on PC is that when you select a character, it's a mouse point and click. So you select one of the characters, and then you can actually just click on the spot in the house where you want them to go. Like if there's a task somewhere, you can just click up the task, right, and they'll just walk on their own.
Oh yeah.
And then you don't have to worry about that person. You can move on to the next, and then you can send them somewhere, and they can just do their thing while you're strategizing. But on the Switch version, you actually have to walk the person with the Joy-Con. Like you can't just say, okay, this person go here. You have to actually walk them there and select the task, and then you can switch to someone else. So
man, that's a huge difference.
Yeah, it really slows down the pace, because there's like,
yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, and especially with the time constraint, because you only have so many hours. So usually my strategy was I'd send someone off to bed that was tired, and then I'd have someone cooking food, and then I'd have someone making equipment. And everything's a little bit of a walk too. Like it's a good 10-15 seconds to go from like one end of the house to the other. So that can really kill your mojo when you're going. So that's,
my goodness. Yeah, that doesn't sound good at all.
Yeah,
are you sure that like are there touchscreen controls? Or
no, that's just this is the way it works. I played both.
Seems like you'd break the game.
Sorry?
It seems like it would break the game, like the gameplay, like
yeah,
the balancing.
I think
the balancing.
The thing is if you didn't play the PC game, I don't know if you would notice that much though. Like if you didn't know it was better, okay, you're probably okay. Ignorance is bliss.
Okay, so thank you for ruining it for all of our Switch owners and listeners.
Yeah, way to go, David.
Hey, if you don't have a PC, it's still worth getting.
Do you think that would be something that could be like changed up in a patch or something in the future? Or do you think that was maybe it can't handle doing all that at once or something, or
They
just
could-
like a weird oversight?
I don't know. It depends. I guess it would depend on if the Switch could handle one character doing something while another character. Because I mean, control wise, like you could potentially like click. I don't know. Maybe they could put in the touch controls. It seems like it was a decision made.
If there was a stylus and it had the kind of screen like a DS or 3DS, like a big or Wii U.
Yeah.
Do you think this game could be playable like
yeah,
that?
you could play it the PC wise if you had like a stylus or even your finger. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Even if they did, I don't like. I hate touching my Switch. I don't like touch controls. So it's I don't know. It was still like it's still worth playing. It was still fun, like the Switch version. So
How much is it?
so the Switch version is more. In Canadian, Canadian it was.
Well, yeah.
I think American. It's $39.99. I can't remember if that's Canadian or American. Pretty sure it's American.
Let's hope it's Canadian.
No, I'm pretty sure it's American. But it's both the main game and there's 3 DLC. So one is available now on the Switch. The second is done, but it's not on the Switch right now, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I've actually played the second DLC on PC. And
You're ahead of the game.
I'm ahead of the game, and that's actually really fun too. So the way that
so you really dig this game.
I have. It was really fun. Like, and the DLC does change up the
about it a lot, so.
It does change up the strategy because, like in the main game, the survivor, like I said, you can have between 1 and 4 survivors, and they all have different weaknesses and strengths. But in the DLC, the latest one that's coming, the last broadcast. The way that it works is it's a husband and wife, and the husband is disabled. So you're really, like, the wife is doing everything. She's the only one that can scavenge. She's the only one that can leave the husband stays on one floor of the house and can't leave it, and he walks with crutches. And the other part of it is that, so the husband is a radio broadcaster, so he's constantly broadcasting news over the radio. So the wife,
Dad's moving to the left side of the house.
yeah. So it's like out for other survivors and stuff. Like, so an example is so one of the locations that you can send the wife to is the park. So you have access to a little one area of the park, but if you try to go to the other area, there's a sniper. So you can't actually get to like one half of the park. So what happens is she can go home and tell the husband, tell people to watch out for the sniper in the park, and he'll broadcast that over the radio. And then the next day, the sniper will have left because the news got out of his location. So
that's sort of cool.
Yeah. So finding news essentially opens up new areas in throughout the city. So it's a nice, like, it's definitely worth playing the DLC because it does provide, it's still the base mechanics of day night surviving, and so it's fun. Like, I enjoyed the DLC too, so that'll come to the Switch.
Cool.
It's like a complete edition on the Switch. So, and then there's a third DLC that's not done yet that'll be on there too. So
sweet.
cool. Yeah, and then
that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, and then the final game that I played and was my favorite of all of them was Frostpunk. So
hey, that was your nickname in high school.
Yeah, that's right. I wouldn't doubt it. And so Frostpunk it's another strategy sim. So the way it works is that it's basically in a post-apocalyptic ice age. So everything's frozen over. There's snow everywhere, and people from London have moved north. And this large steam generator is basically placed in the middle of this open area, and it generates heat and electricity from coal. And again, it's another one of these games where the whole goal is just to survive, and it's a city building simulation. So from the center, there's circular rings, and you're just building out from the steam generator. So you have to build tents, you have to build like hospitals, you have to build like food manufacturing factories to build more technology, and all the while you're having to juggle temperature drops because blizzards can come, and then it can make parts of the city inaccessible if you don't have heaters set up. It's just a very complex game.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
because I'm looking at some video right now, and yeah, it looks like it could get pretty intense, like once you sort of got the city going. But how did you like it? It's like, is it daunting to get into, or does it ramp it up nicely? Like, hey, like, you know, sort of introduce you to stuff and then sort of build upon that.
It builds at a good pace. Like, the way I would say is you're probably gonna play a few. You're gonna take a few tries before you get used to like all of the different things that you'll have to consider, like all the different mechanics and but it's a quick learn. It's like, it's one of these things that there's a lot of complexity to it, but it's straightforward. So once you've experienced it, then it's one of those where it's like, okay, I'm gonna start again, and now that I know about this thing, I'm gonna incorporate it into my next playthrough, and I'm that much better, and then I learn something else and I'm that much better.
So, I'm sorry if you already said this, but is it like mission based? Like, hey, these are the requirements of this go, like try and survive, or is it like a fresh game every time and it just says, you know, go as long as you can?
It has all the options. So there's 4 scenarios. There's one where you're building a new city and you have to last a certain amount of time. The second is it's called the Arcs, where there's these 4 buildings that are housing the last of the seeds on Earth, and you have to build automatons to make the city self-sufficient because there's this blizzard coming, so you have to beat the blizzard. The third is a refugee city where there's constant refugees coming, so you have to deal with the inflow of all these extra people all the time. And then the fourth, which is kind of was the craziest one, was there's this massive city that's already built, and the mayor or the captain of the city was driven out for incompetence, and on the way out, he burned down half the city and broke the steam generator.
Oh, you dirty dog!
Yeah. So the campaign is so you're taking over this already built city, but half of it's on fire. So like, you're starting off by, you have to repair the generator, you have to put out the fires, you have to tear down the ruins.
This game sounds sweet, dude.
Yeah, and then the reason it came on my radar is because they just incorporated an endless mode, where it's just free playground. They just say, here's your generator, here's a big open space.
Have at her,
and go till the cows come home. So it's
and you like that, and you like, is that your favorite kind of mode?
No, I like the campaigns the best myself, just because I like the direction. I like having a goal, so it's
cool.
So I felt there was more strategy for the goal because there's time constraints and there's resource management. So like for myself, I enjoyed the campaigns most. But I can see why the endless mode was something that people wanted. So this was something they just added after the fact. Like, I think the game came out in April, and it was the thing that people were asking for the most. So they've just incorporated it now. So that's why I got a chance to play it. So
and this is on PC. You've been playing it, and is there any chance? Is any talk about this coming?
They are making a console version.
Okay, so maybe not necessarily Switch.
It depends, because so a few months ago they had said that they were making console versions of This War of Mine and Frostpunk, and This War of Mine's on Switch. So I think there's a possibility. Right. I mean, the one thing that concerns me is that it takes a pretty decent PC. Like, there's a lot. I guess if they downgraded a lot of the details, they could probably get it on Switch, because it's a pretty. It looks
visually
heavy.
very nice.
Hey, yeah, Doom Eternal is gonna be on Switch.
Well, that's the thing, is if you get someone, if they know what they're doing, I think they can manage. So I think it could be on Switch.
Now, do they know what they're doing?
Well, they
that depends who they get.
Yeah, there's people that can help if they don't. So
Well, I tell you what, I certainly hope they can make this come to Switch because I would totally check it out.
Yeah,
it looks really cool.
I know a certain David Lloyd that's coded a few websites in his day. We could probably help you out.
Yeah, and I know a man named Mick who could help out too.
Oh, there you go.
Boom. Sweet. Yeah, no, I'm going to have to keep an eye out on that because I would definitely be down to check that out in the Switch Arena.
But you know what I like to do on the weekends is I really like to Bosch rocks.
Ooh, who doesn't?
You know, call me an old-fashioned romantic, but nothing like going out on a good old Saturday morning to Bosch some fresh rocks.
Especially when it's the director's cut.
Is that what the DX stands for?
Well, it's actually Rock Boshers DX Director's Cut.
Oh.
So boom, there you have it.
That seems a little redundant.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I never know if DX stands for deluxe or
I don't.
Director's Cut.
I feel like people just throw that on there. Why not? You know.
Hey, pro tip: don't ever watch Director's Cut movies. They're usually a lot worse. Anywho,
but yes,
it's all about the editing.
Here we go. Rock Boshers. Now, this is. I'm pretty sure this is an older game because when you first boot it up, it pretty much lets you choose between either like the NES or like the PC graphics. And they look a little different, but what?
It's like an old arcade game.
But what's coolest is the boot up on the computer style graphics are really cool. But yeah, so this is they call it like a twin stick shooter, but I guess it is. You know, you shoot and aim with your right stick, but it's not like 360. It's in the cardinal directions and then diagonals. And what it is, it's like level based. Little, like, you're thrown into a level and you need to exit it essentially, and to do that you just like have to unlock a series of doors as enemies are sort of coming at you, and you know, avoiding them and getting all the way to the exit. And it's top down, and what's cool is they sort of ramp up the ideas. So in the beginning, you know, it's sort of like pretty basic, like, all right, like there's some enemies here, you know, all right, we're gonna take them out. Going to grab this key, we'll open that door, then I can go into that area and grab that key, which opens another door, and you can sort of move on your way. But they have it like later on where it's like, oh, here's if you go, like, you need to go straight, but there's these big blasters in the way. But to your right and left are little rocket launchers where if you go close to them, they shoot a homing missile at you, or a homing rocket. So what you need to get that to chase you, but then direct it north for when the timer on that rocket goes off. Like, it chases you for 5 seconds, and then it just continues on in the path it was going. So it's like, oh, okay, now I'm launching it towards that area, and I can clear a way out, and then you know, I can push forward with the puzzle. There's other ones where it's like, there's this one where you essentially, like, it's sort of like a big open room with a bunch of hazards in the middle, and sort of enemies sort of spewing out at all times, and you need to go around the circle and sort of run into those those rockets, and then you just need to do like X amount of laps while surviving, and then the door opens, you know. So they do little things to change it up. There is like a speed element. You want to try and do it as fast as you can, but as far as I could tell, there's no penalty, I guess, aside from just like, oh, it took you longer. There are a few different guns that you can, like, you have like a sort of like just like a pistol, you know, that you have unlimited ammo on, but like you could pick up, you know, like a machine gun, and then I think there's like a shotgun that sort of shoots like a spurt out, as well as like a big heavy duty gun that can sort of take enemies out but keep on going. But yeah, I mean, the game itself it's weird. It's like, I like it, but it is sort of. So pretty much some of these levels take a while, right? And like the earlier parts will be relatively easy. Like, okay, I'm working through this. All right, now I'm up to the tough spot. Oh, I died. Now I need to go through like the beginning portion. You know, I got to go through the steps again, which can be a little annoying at times. And like, it does get somewhat difficult. Some areas have definitely given me like some trouble where I'm like, all right, I got to stop and sort of think about exactly what I'm doing here to try and get through. But no one particular level has been so difficult.
Right.
As you work your way through, you sort of collect fruit or food. This is a very British game, Boshers, Rock Boshers. You collect hidden tea, cheese, and jammy scones to unlock bonus arcade games.
Jammy scones.
Yep.
Cheeky biscuits.
And some Jimmy scones.
No pints?
No pints. No pints. But why do you need a pint when you got a jammy scone? But anyway, you collect these as you go through, and you can unlock different arcade games that you could play outside of the main zone. I've only unlocked a pair of them right now, so I need to continue to work through that. But like the one, it was like, essentially you've got like this center pipe in the middle of the screen, and like you have enemies coming to attack it. So you need to, and it becomes almost like a shoot 'em up, like a side to side shoot 'em up, where you're just sort of blasting enemies left and right. But as they get onto that thing, it starts to drain its health. So you can still kill them when they're latched on there, but again, it becomes pretty overwhelming relatively quick, so you got to sort of stay on it. Sort of just like a high score mode, like, oh, play this, try and get a high score. Like, not as substantive as like the main game. But even the main game, I think there's 24 or 25 levels. I think I'm on level 22, so I'm getting towards the end. I'm curious to see if once I beat those levels, if it unlocks some other mode, or if maybe there's more levels hidden throughout. So I'm going to have to keep an eye out. But right now, I am doing the review for the site. Like I said, there's things to like, there's things to not like. It seems like a very middle-of-the-road game for me, in not a bad way. Like, it does do some good things for sure. But I don't know. I don't love it, but I don't dislike it, and you know what I mean. It's sort of right now. It's very much, I guess. I'll see how it wraps up, and
it has some highs and it has some lows.
Exactly.
Yeah,
A little bit of this, and a little bit of that.
A little bit of that.
A little
and
Jimmy Scone.
A little bit of this and a little bit of that. That's exactly what we're gonna get in the eShop Roundup after we take a quick musical break, lads.
Wee.
So let's do that. All right, and we're back with the eShop Roundup. Which, you know what that means, everyone. That means
about 30-something games to talk about.
We have a billion games to talk about. You know what I saw? I saw that there are currently 200 games discounted on the eShop right now. So we got an extended Villa Day discount now.
Yeah.
We go through every single game.
Oh my god, can you imagine?
Oh, but it looks like we have a billion games. Well, wait, where are we starting with
We're
today?
starting with old Desktop Soccer for the incredible price of $7.11. That's $7.11.
$7.11.
Fun for everyone. It's time for the crazy kickoff.
Yeah, this looks pretty cute.
Yeah,
this looks like Soccer Slammers.
This
looks like
totally
Jules' game,
does.
Soccer Slammers. That's amazing. I gotta show this to him.
We might have a lawsuit on our hands.
Lawsuit. That's amazing.
Someone's cashing in.
That's right. But next up, we have for 17.
Does Jules have dessert on his playing field?
He better.
He better.
Turnabout is fair play.
Next up, we have Party Hard plus High Crimes for $17.99, and this is from Tiny Build. And we have a review on the site, and this is like an overhead game, pixely, and looks pretty cute, and reminds me of the that one game, where you're the serial cleaner. That one. That's what it reminds me of a little bit. Anyway, this looks gruesome and fun.
This next game is right up David's alley.
What's that?
I don't know. Why don't you tell us?
Big Broom Race 3.
Well, you forgot BB Bloxburg's Big Room Race 3.
BB Bloxburg.
$29.99, baby, full price or premium price here. They're trying to give Vroom in the Night Sky a little
run
for their money here. Take to the
That's
air.
The best sentence.
BB Bloxburg. Big Broom Race 3. It should have been Big Broom Bang or something.
Big Broom Race 3.
So there's 2 other versions of this game. Or prequels.
I gotta say, this game looks pretty cool. If I was Casey in a hotel room at PAX leaving, not ever playing it.
Why is she flying her broomstick with socks? What happened to her shoes?
She was not prepared. Now, I don't see a BB Bloxburg Big Broom Race 2. I'm doing the Google search.
Can you say a little more bees, please? Because
BB Bloxburg
I think the
Broom
bees
Race
must have been
3.
on sale.
Yeah, the bees.
Anyway.
Grab your big brooms for BB's Bloxburg's Big Burger Bash Brace.
Anyway, we also have BB and Tina Adventures with Horses for $29.99. Again, I don't know how this is a thing, but it is.
Oh, baby!
Actually, it kind of has a cute little like colored pencil art style, which is kind of cool. I don't know. It's not too bad.
It's something.
It's not too bad.
Next up here, we get away from the bees. We go over to Zeus Quests Remastered.
For $8.99.
Looks like a good old-fashioned adventure game to me.
This one looks straight up Cassie's. Oh, man.
You can't even make that joke, can you?
This piece of junk is a time machine. Do you see that one with the hand sticking out holding a box?
I've moved on.
Okay. Okay. David, what's next?
Panda Hero.
Mr. Alex Panda Hero.
For $29.99. I wonder if he's reviewing this game. Jeez, $30, and this is American.
Yeah.
Well, I see a very... I see it's copying a few Mario things.
It reminds me of a little Caveman Warriors.
Did you know Caveman Warriors is getting a physical release?
Did you know what you're getting for
Isn't
Christmas?
Oh, dude, I would love that. That'd be amazing.
I won't lie.
Physical.
Oh,
Hashtag
baby.
Get it done.
Get her done.
Get her done. Next up, for $14.99, we have Battery Jam.
Give him the jam.
And this is, you use a boombox to smash your opponents, capture their tiles, and dominate the arena.
This sort of looks cool, actually.
It sort of looks like that game Nintendo released that got like, it looked like it was gonna be cool and it got like no fanfare at all. What was that game? Earlier in the life cycle of the Switch.
Yeah, what's
Nintendo
that?
Nintendo released it?
Oh yes, yes.
It's something like a block game, something like.
Yes, it was called Project Mikuru, in Japanese, and then it came out here, and I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, it went to the wayside real quick. But
anyway,
yeah. Moving along here, we got ATV Drift and Tricks. Drift, Tricks, and Fun, Perry. Fun, not in the title of the game, but I guess that's implied. $34.99.
34? Man, the prices on these games are just going up and up and up.
I tell you what, at least this game looks like, I mean, I guess a lot of these are probably not screenshots, but...
Oh, I don't know.
That one is. That one, look, we see some HUD.
Yeah, it looks fun.
That one looks, yeah.
That looks fun.
Well, you know what game is not $34.99?
Ooh, what's that?
Steamberg.
Ooh, I wonder if Bloxburg ever goes over to the Steamberg. Old BB.
It's an award-winning puzzle adventure game with story exploration elements and unique gameplay. All right. It's looks like you walk around top down. Looks like a very artsy, cool. I like the color scheme of this game. Steampunk. That's a
steampunk.
His Canadian hockey influence coming onto him. Steampunk, baby.
Steampunk influence. No, it's cool. I like this game. Looks cool. Robots.
Hey Perry.
Oh, that's only $4.99. Yes.
You like crushing gems?
Duh.
Well, then you might like Gem Crash for $3.99 on sale.
33% off.
A brick breaker game with a unique twist with 360 degrees of potential moves.
This is that game that they had on the iPod Touch, or not Touch, on the iPod Video that came out that replaced the old Brick Block game that I didn't like as much. Anyway. You guys know what I'm talking about?
I remember the original.
Remember
one,
the
yeah.
brick breaking game you could play on the iPod Touch?
Or even the old iPod.
I mean, sorry, the iPod.
Yeah,
yes, that's what I mean.
With the big.
But then, like
wheel.
on the newer, like on the ones after the iPod Touch was released, like the iPod Classic, they took that game out and they put in like this 3D one that looks just like this game, and it was not even close to as fun.
Well, that's because Apple takes good things away and gives you crap instead.
Shut up. Anyway,
I feel like David's coming to the good side on that. I feel like slowly but surely he's weaning.
What good side?
Away from the Apple.
I still wouldn't buy an Android phone. I'm just gonna bitch and moan until Apple fixes.
Just buy a Pixel.
Yep. Hey, dude, their stocks are going way down.
That's because they're a bunch of
so good.
turd burgers.
Oh, dude, don't even start with me, Gibbons. You like Pepsi.
Maybe
it's
the problem
fact
is
that they charge too much while taking away things. It's not even like I'm not doubting that Apple has not put out a ton of influential and amazing pieces of hardware over the years, but you can't honestly tell me that they're like trending in a good direction.
No, they're trending in an awful direction.
Exactly, because
no, I'm in the same place as David.
Well, what direction can you go from perfection?
Well, they certainly weren't perfection, but you could go up. You don't
have a way better operating.
You don't need to take
an
abrupt turn to Crapsville.
Speaking of an abrupt turn to Crapsville, we have Word Sudoku. Just kidding, that was a joke. Sudoku's great. It's the first game I ever talked about on this podcast, and Paugi.
But this is Sudoku with words, Perry.
Oh, is it? It's Word Sudoku.
That's what it's telling me. Gone back to Crapsville.
Just kidding. That actually might be pretty cool.
But it looks like.
So what do we have next?
I'm not sure how I'm getting stuck with the long titles here. Adventures of Bertram Fiddle, Episode 2, A Bleaker Predicament.
Ooh.
Wait, we've talked about this before.
Predicament. That's not even a word.
Predicament. Oh no.
Predicament.
We have talked about Bertram Fiddle on this podcast. I think this was on the Wii U.
I think I blacked that out.
Bertram Fiddle.
Oh, this next one we should have given this next one to David because I know he's probably already got it pre-ordered. Waku Waku Sweets.
It is on sale.
Become a wonderful pastry chef and learn how to make various confectionaries.
And it's 25% off.
And I do like my confectionaries.
Well, who doesn't?
I could go for a confectionery right now. I am hungry. I'm hungry, baby. Although I'm honestly, if I'm being honest, I'd got a Whopper. Woo!
Some jalapenos.
Oh,
all right. Next up, we have Ms. Splosion Man for $14.99. This is a popular game on last gen that just kind of came out of nowhere out on the Switch. I think I've played this. I have played this, and it's very wonky and crazy, and very fast-paced platformer, and it's pretty fun. I've heard really good things about it. So
sweet.
Yep. Well, next up, though,
it wouldn't be a week.
Oh,
woo!
Baby,
I was getting worried for a hot minute there. I won't lie to you.
Yeah.
Yes, and what do we got?
We've got the Neo Geo King of the Monsters 2.
Oh my goodness, this is the game.
The monsters
that
are back.
I would play with my friend. Oh my goodness, this game is amazing.
It looks like
that gorilla robot, the blue one.
So is this just a fighter with just monsters, but you can also destroy the city, or is it like a
brawler?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's sort of like Rampage.
I've never played Rampage. I know that sounds crazy. But yeah. Yes, this game is amazing.
Sweet. I wish you could play
it's
online
awesome.
multiplayer. I'd buy it right now.
I know. Boo. Anyway.
Isn't this game right here, this next game, I believe... Yeah, David, we played this together, didn't we?
No, this looks like the knockoff of that game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, I was looking at it, and it was sort of like that along that, and I was like, I don't know know if it was called that, and I feel like we played it around the time it came out for the Switch.
No, that one was a great game. Keep talking and nobody explodes.
Okay, yeah.
This one is Please Don't Touch Anything for $9.99.
Yeah. All right. Looks like
it has the same aesthetic. I don't know if there's any kind of if it's a Lawsuit City again here or not, but
it's gonna be a new segment here.
That's right.
Lawsuit City. Going down with your attorney, B.B. Blocksberg.
I think if you do that, you guys would need a video where you're dressed up like the guys from Miami Vice.
Yeah, just copywriting some other things.
Done.
Next up
we have Nidhogg 2.
Yes, we do.
For $14.99. The worm has returned, and it must feed. Shed your garments and paint the walls with the flesh of your enemies, for only one can be worthy of sacrifice. Wow. I don't really know anything about the Nidhogg games.
I played a little bit at PAX, and it's sort of just like you battle, like it's 1v1, and you're sort of just going left to right. And what you want to do is, like, if you're on the right side of the screen, you're pushing towards the left, and vice versa. You're on the left, you push to the right. You're gonna have to kill that person, and then you can start like, all right, now I can make way. They'll respawn in your way, and then like you'll just. It's sort of like a tug of war almost, where you guys are battling back and forth and just trying to get to the end. It
sounds like Urban Champion the way you just described it. I'm just gonna give a little more credit than that.
I mean, it was. I played it very minimally at PAX, but it seemed like it would be pretty fun. I don't know how long it would last that fun, but if you had a lot of people to play with, I think it would probably be a game you might want to check out. But
now, this next game,
I love the
lumberjacks, has beautiful trees, leaves.
It had beautiful trees.
Sounds like someone on this podcast.
It looks
you
like
know what I'm saying.
It looks like every Canadian's worst nightmare, where a brave stump of tree will chase a lumberjack.
The game dubbed Stump.
Stump for $2.29.
Stump.
Look at this. Look at the happy trees, just standing there, looking at each other.
He got stumped.
3D glasses.
Stump.
Yeah, this game looks really funny. I don't even know what it is, but yeah.
Well, it's Stump.
Yep, it's a brave stump. The brave stump that's capitalized. Anyway, moving on from Stump. What do we got? I'll take it, I guess. Mordheim Warband Skirmish.
It is your turn.
I guess, yes. This is for the Jimmy price of $25
even.
Exactly.
That's a quarter of $100 game right there.
This looks like a Thirsty Mage game, review game. Clash with other Wordstone, hunting warbands in the ruins of Mordheim.
That looks like one the mage might want to skip.
It looks like Diablo, right? Is that what I'm... Maybe? Or, I don't know.
Those son of a guns put RPG in the genre, though.
They did.
Yep.
Sons of a
they're
gun.
like, we got one. We got one.
Well. Look at this next game. Sounds a little familiar.
This War of Mine Complete Edition.
I'm gonna let it shine.
$39.99. If in war, not everyone is a soldier. As David knows.
That's true.
Oh,
I remember. Okay, wow, yeah, I remember seeing screenshots of this, and yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, it's a good thing we can't show screenshots because there's a billboard on the side of the house that's not safe for the explicit warning on the podcast.
Well, in the screenshots here,
it's not in the screenshot, but if you play the game, there's some graffiti on a sign beside your house.
Some quote unquote graffiti.
Is it a male unit?
No, it is the international language that essentially the only word that gets used in the hockey arena. It rhymes with puck.
When you drop the puck, you don't give.
Muck. Okay, next up we have Spin Tires Mud Runner American Wilds for $39.99. The ultimate off-road experience. Wow.
They don't give you any screenshots, those dirty dogs.
Yeah.
Like those aren't like
No, that's not gameplay. There's no way.
What is it? It doesn't even say what it is. I mean, it's a.
Well, that's why I would like to see some screenshots of what I'm playing. Like,
it sounds cool.
Drive more than 30 powerful all-terrain vehicles, including the iconic U.S. brand Western Star, Hummer, and Chevrolet. Even though Hummer is not made anymore, equip them with 60 add-ons and suit your mission.
Dude, this sounds cool. I mean, you complete objectives and deliveries across 10 unique sandbox maps.
Powered by the game's advanced physics engines, but we're not brave enough to show you actual gameplay in the screenshot.
Take your map and your winch, go solo or join up to 3 others in this co-op multiplayer.
Bam!
Not even a trailer or nothing.
Yeah.
You know what that says?
It says it supports online play. I don't know what kind of online play, but
you need online Switch to play it.
That's right. Well, we're at the end.
99 Vitas. Is that Vitas? Vitas? Vitas?
Sure.
Vidas?
Sure.
Definitive
Casey.
edition. The definitive 99 Vidas. Vidas. Experience more stages, more enemies, more game modes.
Okay.
It looks like maybe some sort of a beat 'em up.
It looks like like River City Rampage or whatever it's called.
It does have a demo, so you could jump into there.
Oh, there you go.
Check that bad boy out.
And look, it's 99 Vidas, and it's $9.99.
Should have been 99 cents. Well, I mean, but anyway. All right, so what are your games of the week, boys?
Can I go first?
You sure can. Steal the good one.
I'm actually gonna pick Spin Tires Mud Runner American Wilds. I think that game looks awesome. It sounds great.
You're taking your chances. You're taking your chances.
I don't know, like controlling a huge semi in
so
the middle
download
of,
it.
A forest.
Download it and let us know how it plays.
Yeah, you drop that $40.
Yep.
I will.
You committed.
Maybe I'll just request a code.
All right, what about you, David?
I mean, is it cheating or lazy if I go with this war of mine?
I mean, it's lazy.
Yes, you can't do that. You gotta pick a game that's new to you from the eShop Roundup.
All right,
that's the rules.
If you're gonna twist my arm,
and we all know what it's gonna be. Stump.
Actually, if I was choosing, I'd probably go with Party Hard.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's kind of neat.
All right, for me, as much as I want to pick that Neo Geo game, I'm gonna go with Battery Jam. Because that looks sort of cool, too.
Battery Jam.
That does look pretty good, too.
The Jammer, baby.
That does look cool.
Jam 'em.
Yep.
Jam.
Boom. All right. Well, that's going to be the end
Jammy
of the...
scones.
We got through the... I can go for a jammy scone right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say we made some good time through that eShop Roundup.
Yeah, that was actually not too bad.
And,
right?
No, that was nice. Brisk.
Very brisk.
And I tell you what's going to also be brisk is this news segment we've got up here. I don't even think we need a break because we're just going to steamroll right on into this bad boy.
Let's just snap our fingers and go right to it.
News talk.
Oh, wait, no, wait. It's not time for the news. It's time for the YouTube Saloon. The YouTube Saloon. All right, yeah, so us three, we are, people don't know it, but we actually are the 3 Amiibros. And what is that? Well, it's a new YouTube show that we're starting on NWR TV with us 3 here, with David Lloyd, Casey Gibbons, and Perry Burkum.
Hercam.
And it's a video show, and we're all funny, and we have a new...
Well, try to be anyway.
We're all funny. You gotta watch.
Funny.
Believe us.
No, I mean, if not funny, funny looking. And
you definitely nailed that.
With our inaugural episode, we talk about the 3 missing Switch games that haven't come out yet. So you're gonna want to check and within the next week. We don't know when it's gonna be published yet.
Yeah, it'll. I'd say likely this weekend. So if you're listening to it, like the week after this comes out, it'll probably be up there. You can just click right on that link in the description to take you right to YouTube to check it out. If you're listening to it earlier, keep your eyes out. We'll probably tweet about it, I'm sure, when it goes up. So yeah, it should be pretty exciting. Think it's gonna be fun. Yeah, should be good.
Giddy up.
And yeah, that'll be I believe we're aiming for that to be a weekly show with just sort of a variety show, you know, sort of
it's
whatever we're
variety.
feeling. Sort of, hey, this is this week's episode. Enjoy it, and we'll go from there.
It's like a new podcast, everyone. Woo!
Ooh-wee.
Now
Video
with
form.
now with 100% more Canadians, right?
Yeah.
Because it's 0% without. That's right.
Well, Canadians do make everything better.
Well, we can just say that the podcast is 33% Canadian.
Yeah.
Me, bros. Okay, but now it's time to get to the
News
Talk with Casey Gibson.
Talk
Nin
10.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The quality entertainment you can expect to find on the Three
by the way-
Bros.
Guaranteed laughs. I think we can say that, though.
Casey, I love the news talk this week. It's amazing.
Oh, it's short, it's sweet. Let's go, baby.
Yep.
Mario Tennis Aces. We've got an update coming on December 1st that will add doubles online tournaments, so you could play with a friend in a tournament online. Boom. That's exciting. You know what's also
awesome.
exciting? New characters. Woo!
Yeah, Pauline and
Boom
Boom. And hold on, I'm not. Oh yeah, and Luma, right?
Yep, Luma,
Yeah.
and that's exciting because Rosalina is already in there. So now it's like, and her special smash, Partake, has a bunch of Lumas in there. So now you're gonna get to play as one of those Lumas solo style, baby. I wonder what their special is going to be. But
I know
it's
that's
exciting.
so cool. I love that. I love new stuff like that.
And Caitlin loves her some Mario Tennis, so I'm sure we'll jump back into that.
You know, it's cool they're adding new stuff. I hope they can. I just wish there was like the story mode is better. But anyway.
Yeah, the story mode sucks. I was
sucks.
I was gonna do a stinks on ice with a capital S, but for some reason I just said sucks. So I meant to go it stinks with a capital S on ice, you know. But anyway.
Oh yeah, I know.
Moving along here, Skyward Switch Perry.
Oh.
Anuma
David
teased that The
Just
Legend
kidding.
of
You can do whatever
Zelda
you want.
Skyward Sword might be coming to the Switch at the
Heck
concert
yes.
on Nintendo Live 2018. Apparently, sources said, I know you're waiting for Skyward Sword on Switch, right? A little nudge, you know, a little elbow nudge. That would be exciting. I would be down with that. I have not
I would
played.
be so down with that.
I've not played Skyward Sword since its launch, which was what, 2012, 2011, right?
Yeah, 2011, I think. Yeah.
So that's been November 18th, 2011. So a long time. I would. For me, I feel like these re-releases or remastered or whatever you want to call them versions of the Zelda games, you know, when we got Twilight Princess HD, they're perfect because it's a perfect excuse to get back in to a game I would love to replay but don't have the time to play, you know. So when they give it that treatment of it being a new launch or a new release, it's like, all right, that's all I needed to sort of get the motivation to power through, you know.
Right. But now I gotta hear why David doesn't like it.
I booed because I would prefer.
He wants new games, dang it.
No, well, I want that, but if we had to choose one of the remasters to come to Switch first, I would prefer Wind Waker.
Okay.
All right.
Now, but I just played Wind Waker HD.
Yeah, but I don't want to play it on my Wii U. I want to play it on a bus.
I won't lie.
But I mean, the Wii U is the best way to play that game.
I would totally
But
be down
anyway,
to play
yeah, I
that
would totally
again.
Dude, oh, well, okay. Let's set the record straight. I would definitely be down for my favorite game of all time, Wind Waker HD, on the Switch. Like, you know. But, I mean, Skyward Sword, what an interesting concept, right? Because that's a lot more interesting to me because of the motion control, how they would do that. Because
they'd have to do a lot of reworking.
Well, I mean, not necessarily if they're going for just on docked. But would they do that, you know?
I think they have to have a mobile, like they have to have a handheld version.
Do they?
I think so. How could you make the game?
Super Mario Party doesn't.
Yeah, but
you can still. They have a kickstand. You can still take the 2 Joy-Cons off and play it off the TV. You know what I mean?
Boo.
I'm not saying that's ideal.
Way to go, Pert! You're ruining our parade.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just no. I just you know what I mean. Like I just don't know what's gonna happen. Like I don't know how they do that. So
Don't
but
poop
I just
on my
I
jam
can't
scone.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. What the heck?
Yeah, you're disgusting, Perry. Why would you do that to someone's scone?
You're really messing with my train of thought right now. Okay, now I'm imagining weird things. Okay. No, the idea of Skyward Sword in HD would be unbelievably awesome because that game is that's one of my favorite games. Like the look of that game is so pretty. And then if the motion controls could be enhanced where they worked better, man, that would be awesome. You know, I would be so up for that. But anyway, I'd be all over that game. But yeah, but I would also I'd like Twilight Princess and Wind Waker.
They should just have the Zelda collection, every Zelda game.
They really should. They really should. Yeah.
Because it's funny, I found myself the other day like, man, I would love to replay some Ocarina of Time right now. I'm like, but like I want to play it on my TV, you know? But then I'm like, oh, but then I also like it's like I could play it on my 3DS and it'd be great, you know, like no doubt about it. It's a great version of the game. But I want to play on the screen, but I don't want to bust out my N64. But then there's also those times I just want to play it on the go. Bring it to the Switch. It's like everything needs to be in the Switch, man. It's just
everything.
It's too perfect. But yeah, that's the end of the news.
All right. I'll take it.
Now, we do have a quick email before we... well, actually, do we want to take a Mick break now, or do we want to answer this email and then have a Mick break?
Let's take a Mick break now. In fact, we better, because he's just knocking on the door.
He's slamming on the door, and David's he's gonna do something. I don't know what he's gonna do. He's gonna take a breather.
He's gonna go check all of his maple trees.
He's gonna go get those scony cones. Jammy scones.
Do you ever put maple syrup on a scone up there?
I'm pretty sure we invented that.
On a scone.
He was taken aback. Excuse me?
What haven't we put maple syrup on up here?
It's touche.
I'll just go have a pint and then I'll come back. How's that sound?
That just seems like a total Canadian bumper sticker. What haven't we put maple syrup on up here? ? I can
Perry,
just see that. Right?
What are we doing? Let's get those in print and make millions.
I know, and like the A in maple can be like the maple leaf, like Canadian maple leaf.
This idea is selling itself.
It is, right? Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Done.
David, you go start up the prototypes while we talk to Mick.
Okay, good idea.
Get right on it.
All right, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we have a special segment, a guestery segment. So stay tuned for that.
Alrighty, and we are back, and it is time for a very special mystery history with our special guest, Mick Waites of the Four Horsemen. Or Four Horsemen, I
Four
guess.
horses.
Yeah. Oh, God, I'm tired.
Well, he is the four horse. They are the four horsemen. Yeah, he's the man of the four horses.
Yeah, we previously established this. I'm all four horses.
Yes, that's right.
It's true.
He's all of them.
He's a sentient
How's
being.
it going, Mick?
Yeah, it's going pretty good. I've just been playing Miles and Kilo on Xbox One. I've just finished that on that platform for the first time.
Like you're done with the Xbox?
No, I didn't finish playing the game. Finished the last level. It's something I'd not tested before, but I knew it worked anyway. But
Gotcha.
It was only relatively recently that I got save game fully working on there, so I'd have had to complete it in one sitting, which there didn't seem a lot of point. Might as well just do it piecemeal
Right.
once things are up and running. But yeah, it's getting there through the
Cool.
week.
That's fun. So that's what Four Horses is up to right now. They're porting Miles and Kilo to the Xbox One.
Yeah, at the minute, Xbox and Windows.
Xbox One and Windows.
It'd be nice to get that on the Windows too. Yeah, it's
big cross-platform, which I would have loved to have done with Kid Trip on 3DS and Switch, but Nintendo said no.
That dang old Nintendo.
Wait, what do you mean? Like, do you mean like
cross-buy? So buy it on one
gotcha.
and it works on both.
Cross-buy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, you got that.
I know a couple of games have done that, but it's been weird. I just don't think it's set up very easily.
They've done that with Switch.
Well, they've done that with Wii U and
Wii U and 3DS is fine, but Switch, no, there's no support.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's just kind of a new separate thing, right? Because the funny thing is, Switch. You're done with all of that. You know, like you're done with all of the playing it portably and on the screen because it's just on the same system.
Well, true.
That's so nice.
You know,
true. But I still think it would have been nice to give people both versions. They don't get the stereoscopic 3D on the Switch.
I know.
Oh, that 3D is so good. I miss that 3D.
Well, that's exciting. I can't wait to see what future projects come out too. So, but yeah, Xbox One, and then do you already have it on the PS4, or is it coming to PS4? I can't remember.
PS4 will be next.
It's next.
I'm not sure why I went for Xbox first. I'm sure there was a reason.
Because you won that Windows.
I could never remember why I do anything. So yeah.
How did I get here?
I keep asking myself those questions. I really do. Why
don't
do
we
I go
all?
to work
Don't
every
we all?
day?
Yep. Well, we're gonna play a game of mystery history.
Mystery history.
Cassie said before, and Mick.
History, right?
Yeah, he proposed this to me a couple weeks ago.
He proposed to you?
He proposed this to me, Casey.
All right.
And
yeah, I can't propose
anyway.
to him. That'd be bigamy. Do you know what the punishment is for bigamy? 2 mother-in-laws.
But very good.
Thank you.
So, if anyone doesn't know what mystery history is, which we just had the bibs on, and he gave us a mystery history, but it's 15 yes or no questions with a hint after every 5 questions that Mick will be giving us, and we're going to try to guess the game, and the game has to be on a Nintendo platform of the past, meaning anything besides the 3DS or the Switch. So you can include the Wii U this time. No one's done it yet.
Yeah, the Wii U is in, though. It could be used.
Yes, it could be used. But I believe we can start now, if Mick's ready.
Yeah, I'm about ready. But what I will say before I start, not wanting to give anything away, but I think you've got 0 chance of getting this.
Oh God.
And my intention wasn't for this to be impossibly difficult for you. I thought about this game a few weeks ago, and it's something I'll explain more about that later. But I've got very fond feelings for this game, and I wondered if either of you had ever encountered it. And then obviously, as I'm listening to your back catalogue, I worked out yesterday that I've got 6 days, 4 hours worth of listening to go to catch up. So that's going to take a while. So as I'm listening through to your back catalogue of podcasts, Mystery History, I thought it could be quite a fun one. And then as I've sort of looked into the game a bit more, I've come to the conclusion that the end result will not be, oh, that game. It will be, I've never heard of that game. So hopefully it won't be a total disaster, but let's see.
Thanks for softening the blow, Mick.
Yeah, we're usually not very good, so you're going to line us up with a real tough one here. But we'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as it's not a Danny Bivs special, I'm okay.
You may have heard of it. You may well have. I mean, I tested it out a bit on some people I work with, and one of them who is very much a gamer. I mean, he bought Digger Dan without me knowing about it, which was cool. So he'd heard of it, but he'd never played it. So
yeah. Okay. All right. Well.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll have some fun questions then. I'll try to. I don't know about Casey.
No
Casey,
promises on my
Do you want
end.
to start it off?
Nope.
Okay.
I'll let you take the honors.
Okay. I'm trying to think what game Mick would be interested in. You know, what kind of game? And I don't have anything. I'm just gonna start. I'm just gonna start with. Let's see. Was it? Let's want to try to determine the console. Should we do that? Should we try to determine the console?
If I'm being honest, I have a feeling it's going to be a portable game. That's what I think.
Oh.
So I'm going to steal the first question right back from you, even though I just gave it to you.
All right.
Is this a portable game?
Right, something else I was going to say is that I might sort of assist a bit with some of the answers because some of them might be there's more than one answer. So yes and no.
Gotcha. So
I'm focusing mostly on the no.
I guess
it must be a.
It's a virtual game. It's a Virtual Boy game.
Oh, right, okay. I see where you're going.
I guess a better way to put it would be when it was originally released, was it on a portable system or a platform?
No.
No.
Are we taking that as question 2 or just clarifying question 1?
Well,
I'm happy with that as clarifying question 1 because I gave you an ambiguous answer.
I say, since that's really what we mean, right, Casey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's going to be a bunch of different versions. So, okay. So
we got nowhere.
I'm thinking, no.
Well, you did. It's not portable.
So I'm thinking, okay, so mixed British, rare, Diddy Kong Racing was
I would love
released on, it wasn't released portably, but then it was on the DS. So is it Diddy Kong Racing? No, I'm just kidding.
Can you imagine? He's like, you dirty dogs.
Well, okay, so question number 2. It's not portable, so was it, so it's either, I'm going to guess it's not Wii U. Is it, so it's either Wii, GameCube, or 64, Super Nintendo, or NES.
So we still have plenty of options.
Yes. So I'm wondering, should we go cartridge or disc? But it could be, well, no. It's a Nintendo 64 disc drive. That stupid machine.
It's Danny Bivens again, yeah.
Yeah. Is it on a cartridge?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
All right, so that gets rid of GameCube and the Wii U.
Old school. Yep. Man, I hate, for 5 years, when Switch... Well, I guess, if Nintendo ever goes back to discs, then the Switch is really going to Well, I guess no matter what, Switch is going to ruin the cartridge question, because...
Yeah. Well, it's either really old or not that old at all.
Yeah.
Well, the Switch is just going to ruin it anyway, because it's got a million games.
I know, you're right.
I heard a commercial last night for the Switch, and they're like, over 1,000 games. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
And we've talked about every single one.
I've talked about all of them.
Yeah. What a pathetic nerd loser I am.
Loser.
And named Pert.
All right, so I need to think of a third question here. We know it is...
Okay, so it's not portable, and it's on a cartridge. So we could go with the old... Polygon. Does it have polygonal graphics, or does it have?
Yeah, well, I've got a bunch of ways to pretty much ask if this is an N64 game or not, and I'm just trying to decide. It's like I was thinking, do I go with does the controller have a stick? And then I was like, or I could ask, does it have a classic version, like the system,
Oh, does the system that it's on have a classic version?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Even though that's all the same. Yeah, it's all the same question, but okay.
Yeah,
sure.
We'll go with that version, though. Is there the system this game is on? Is there a classic version of it?
Not at this time.
Ooh, all right.
So
we got the N64, baby.
All right. Well, there's not a lot of games on the 64.
That or Virtual Boy.
And we already got that, so. Or the Virtual Boy, yeah.
He's like, that's why you never heard
of the
of
podcast anymore, Mick. Just kidding.
Did I tell you I got a Virtual Boy because of listening to your podcast?
Oh, yeah, you did. That's amazing. Was it from the original Virtual Boy episode? Is that like what you? Is that why you?
Yeah,
bought it?
right on the early episodes. I think the first time you talked to Jules, you were talking about Wario Land, and I absolutely love Wario Land 2. It's possibly my favorite game of all time, along with all the other favorite games of all time. But,
absolutely,
the pile of best games ever.
Oh man, I love Wario Land. It's funny because, like, as a series, I think I like the series more than the actual gameplay of the series. But I love the series.
Yeah.
Like, I love Wario Land 4. Oh, my goodness.
And Virtual Boy,
one of the most amazing
Wario Land
games
is really
I've
good.
ever seen. And Virtual Boy, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. I've only played it a little bit. It's gone away for Christmas.
I know. I need to get it out and finish that game. So we're on question 4. We've established that it's a 64 game. Well, technically, we haven't outright asked that question. There could be some outlier there.
But we're going down this avenue.
It's 64. Yep.
I'm ready to go down it. So.
Yep. Okay. 2 more questions. Let me get a hint.
Nope. Yes.
So, yeah.
Nope.
Let's see. So now I guess we could go like for like if this was like a Japanese published or a Western published, so we could or developed. I mean, So I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Was this a Western developed game, aka not Japanese?
Yes.
All right.
That gets rid of rare as well, right?
No, that means that it could have been rare.
Well, because I wouldn't consider rare a Western developer.
Yeah,
they're based in
Western.
the UK.
Anything not Japanese, Casey.
All right.
All right. Okay.
Well, you're the boss. All right. Question number 5. Is there a heavy multiplayer element in this game?
No.
All right.
Okay.
So that's question number 5.
All right. Give us that
We
hint,
now know
baby.
N64 Western developed single player game for the
that's good.
Hint.
Yeah, well, the hints are going to be dynamic as well. I've got 4, and I wasn't going to give you this one if you hadn't figured the platform out. So I'll give you this one first.
Ooh.
Hey, that answers our N64 question too.
Hey.
Well,
Mick,
you were going down that line.
It's that that word that I always forget to say about Kid Trip and Miles and Kilo. When you get to a certain point and you press a button because of a certain circumstance, and I always forget what that stupid thing is called.
Context sensitive.
Yeah,
Action commands?
Context sensitive. These are context sensitive hints.
That's very true. I think you've found a reason to say that every time I've been on the podcast now.
Yes. And I will until Kingdom Come. Okay.
Okay, so the clue is this, and this could give it away in one go. Despite the game being played in a third-person view, for the majority of the time that you're playing, the character you're controlling is actually obscured from view.
Third person, but when you're playing the majority, he's obscured from your view.
From your view. That's very interesting.
I feel like this is one where I'm like, what the heck? But once we know the game, it's going to be like, oh, like I totally understand now,
Oh, remember what I said? There's not going to be I know that game. There's going to be, what the hell's that game?
Yeah, this game's weird.
Interesting.
All right, you're up, Perry. You're
Okay.
up, Jerk.
Sheesh. Just shorten my name to Jerk.
Yeah, he's just,
All right.
Son of a gun.
Okay. So it's Western developed. 64. And it's third person view. So is this a platformer?
Yes.
Okay.
That was
A
a
hesitant
hesitant
yes.
yes, though.
Yeah, it's another of my. There's more than
Sure,
one answer to its
Sure.
genre, but yeah, primarily platformer.
Yeah, that's the thing with mystery history.
Man.
Is like when you ask the question, when you're the one giving the hints, a lot of them are like, yeah,
Yeah, I think
But,
that might be right.
I mean, like it might lead you down the wrong path, but technically,
hey, that's good for him though. He doesn't want us
Yeah.
to get this game, right?
No. I want you to get. I want it to turn out that you've played it and love it as much as I do,
not
because then we can
everyone
talk
is
about
a
it.
jerk like you, Casey.
You mean like you?
But I am, but not in this case.
Yeah, in this instance, I'm not trying to be one. It just comes natural.
It's context sensitive
okay.
jerkism.
Jerkums. All right, we got 6 questions in the
Okay, so
the
you're the
bucket
7th
here.
question, Case. I know.
Ugh,
I know.
God.
I'll try to help you here.
All right. Is there a recognizable character, like the main character? Is it like a? I'm trying to think. Not
Like
like
a
I guess
mascot?
mascot, but like, yeah. Is it like a mascot character where it's like well known?
No.
No.
I guess we should have known that, seeing how he said we might not even know
Yeah,
what the
well,
game
that's
is.
a good question, though. I just, I'm looking through, because how we play Mystery History, usually we can't, like, I don't know. I usually don't look stuff up, like, on the internet, like, while we're playing, because that's just
Oh, no, me
cheating.
either.
But I'm thinking, like, from my mind, like, what, like those old N64 boxes, like the box art
Yeah.
of all like the really random games that you see. I'll see on Craigslist, like on the list, like the top 20 like weird Nintendo 64 games, you know, and I just know that there's some weird ones, like, and I hope I don't give any away, but there's like some weird ones like Glover or something.
Yeah.
And I'm just like trying to figure out like what it could be or like what it would be, or you know, I'm just
take
trying to
the stab in the dark, then, baby. Let's roll the dice.
I don't want to do that because I don't really know anything about it. And like I don't know anything about like what that game is.
But then that means maybe it is Glover, and then we just ask 8 more questions, piddly paddling around, not knowing what it is, and then you're like, "Well, is it Glover?"
Is it Glover? Mick?
Is that a question?
Yes.
It is not.
Ah, man,
I've never heard of that.
You really got my heart beating there.
Really? Yeah,
I've just seen it. You know.
No, I remember. Like you said, I could remember that little character with a little hat on. Glover. Yeah, I don't really know. I guess like I'm trying to think like Super Monkey Ball that was GameCube, right? Or was there Monkey Ball for N64?
I don't know. See, I think because it would make sense that there's a Monkey Ball and then Super Monkey Ball for GameCube, but I don't know. I've never played that series before.
I'm looking right now. I know there was. Let's see. There's
like I think in this instance,
they were out for like the Game Boy too.
We don't know what this game is. So, like, if we've never heard of it, it's hard to guess it. You know?
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay, so.
All right, so we know it's N64 single-player game, a platformer with other elements involved.
And then it's third-person platformer, and
you're obstructed.
So, yeah, so you don't see the character that you're playing as for most of the time. Oh.
If you have a question, Perry, you fire away.
No, I'm trying to think of that one weird game. Okay, here's a question: was this published in the United States? Like, was this officially released in the United States?
Yes, because if it wasn't, I would have not run with this because I think that would be a bit hard.
Yes, I was.
Right? I did look it up and I did worry because one of my other clues I wanted to check that was valid for the US as well because it might not have been. So, but yeah, I've looked that up and it was published in the US.
You know, and it stinks.
They almost tried. Yeah, Perry was worried we were getting bivved again.
Yeah. No.
All right, so we're at 9. Man. All right. Does this game have any sequels? Or I should say, is this game a part of a series? Meaning
it is not.
All right, so
I have more information on that later.
Okay.
All right, so it's a standalone.
Standaloner.
That's 10, baby.
Well, no, I thought.
Hit us with another one of these questions. Oh, I was counting your
so that was number 10.
Yeah, you swap sides really for questions.
Yeah, so okay.
So that was 10. I mean, I'll let you have a free question if you want.
No, we don't want it. We want the hint. The hint will be better than any question we could come up with, probably.
The game was created by a company that is responsible for one of the biggest game franchises ever.
Okay, all right. So it's got to be.
Man, that's tough because there's a lot of biggest game franchises ever.
And I'll just clarify biggest slightly. I'm not talking about the numbers of games in that franchise. I'm talking revenue, success, popularity, all the other ways of measuring games.
So,
Rockstar? Is it another Rockstar game? Well, I'm thinking that like Activision, like they have like big franchises.
So I guess. Okay.
But it's a standalone title. We got to remember that. It's not part of any other franchise.
Right. Now so like we're on question 11 now, right?
Yep.
So
5 more.
Is this game a licensed game?
Ooh, nice question. No, it is not.
That was a good question though. I will give you that much. Is this game level based?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just trying to
rapid fire now.
It's like Blizzard. Did they make any 64 games? You know?
StarCraft came out for N64.
Yeah, but was that?
But there's a sequel.
Yeah,
in
that's
the
a big
franchise.
franchise. Yeah, so trying to think of other Blizzard or Activision, Blizzard.
I'm thinking
big
like
Rockstar.
Like,
did they make?
Well,
any?
that's what. Yeah, I don't think Rockstar made any N64 games.
Well,
like I'm thinking Ubisoft. Like, did they have any? Like, they have Assassin's Creed and stuff. Did they make some weird offshoot for N64 level based?
Okay,
it's not.
So I guess
Rayman.
Okay. Okay, this is a tough one. This is a tough one.
We need someone to come on here with the mystery history and just give us a nice lob.
Yeah.
Super Mario 3? Yeah, you got it.
Yoshi's Island? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this game violent?
Okay, there's one of these difficult questions. And I'm background info here because I've had to fill out your ratings forms for Kid Trip and the like. Is Kid Trip violent? You throw stones at monkeys. That sort of sounds quite violent. But if I say it's violent, it gets like a really high age rating. And then you look at Mario and say, well, he stomps on creatures and he gets a PG.
And he just
essentially
throws Yoshis off cliffs.
So acts of violence are performed, but at
in
a similar level to Kid Trip.
Acts of violence are performed, but it's not necessarily violent.
It's charming. They're charming deaths.
Right.
Yeah. It's good-humored cartoon violence, shall we say.
Okay. So what question are we on?
We got two
You've
left.
got two to go.
Okay.
And unfortunately, it's my question. So, okay. Does the protagonist use a weapon to hurt these cuddly creatures?
At times.
All right, so that was pretty much me just like taking the football and punting it to Perry.
Thanks.
Like, you take the question.
I had a question in mind, and then I thought, oh, he must have a really good question to say that, and then you just wasted a question. So,
well, I mean, if you were going off based off turns,
Gotcha.
it was my question. But
okay, okay. So this might be kind of a. I'm gonna let you, figure this out for yourself. Like you'll have to be the judge. Like it's not like a fact type question, but is this game known as a good game?
It is extremely highly regarded.
Extremely. All right. Well, that's going to be 15, so we get another hint here before we ultimately guess incorrectly.
Well, I've got two hints remaining. I'm quite happy to give you them both. So do I
Let's
give
do
you one at a time?
And then we can do
and let you guess twice?
Yeah, let's give us... Yeah, we'll give one.
Do you want to try guess twice,
let's
or do you
try
want them both
once,
together?
and then we'll see if we can get it, and then...
Yeah. Essentially, you'll probably end up reading them both right off anyway, but give us like 5 seconds in between to determine we still don't know what the heck we're talking about.
Okay, if you know this game, this may be a fact that you know about it. It might then trigger a memory. So this is the other thing that I checked out if it was valid in North America as well, due to what I know about publishing games. Okay, the game has a bonus mini game as a reward for collecting various bonus items throughout the levels, but it was actually inaccessible unless you used a cheat code to unlock it because of a bug in one of the levels that prevented one of these items being collected. You just walked right through it. You could never pick it up.
Well, this sounds well like we never really
So it's
went
a
out
buggy
and
game.
asked if it was.
Is it a Bethesda game?
We never went out and said, "Is it a rare game?" Which we probably should have, because this sounds like a 3D platformer where you go and collect things on 64.
Yeah.
You could well think it was a rare game, and I did wonder if it was a rare game, but it's actually not. And I don't mind you having a bonus question there. It is of rare quality.
Okay.
In both senses of the word.
Oh man. Well, I got nothing. Yep.
Let's hear that other hint question.
Okay, I'm going to expand on this hint as well. It performed extremely poorly at retail, which is why there is no sequel. A sequel was planned, and why you've probably never heard of it. And the reason it performed weakly at retail is because it launched right around the time of Ocarina of Time.
Oh, that sounds...
Yeah, that's not a good game to try and go toe to toe with.
That sounds like that rings a bell. Like when you said that.
Well, I hope you heard Ocarina of Time.
I've heard of that game.
That definitely rings a bell.
So when did was that in '98?
Yeah.
I think end of '98 was it?
Let's see.
Yeah, because the 20th year anniversary of Ocarina of Time was just the other day.
Oh,
so.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, I've got no guess here. I'm useless.
I'm gonna take a stab after a quick Google search.
Google.
Yeah. Games that released
N64 releases November '98.
I'm not even finding like a game that I could ask. Oh, there's a lot more games that I thought would come out. You go ahead and go for it, Mick.
Okay, the game is called Space Station Silicon Valley.
Oh.
I can't say I have heard of that.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Let's see,
either.
I'm pulling it up right now. Take-Two, okay, Take-Two Interactive.
I believe they went on to become Rockstar, didn't they? Oh, Take-Two's publisher, developed by DMA Design, who became Rockstar. My heart stopped when you said, "Oh, well, Rockstar's a big company."
Dang it!
First company you came up with when I said huge franchises.
To determine that anyway.
Space Station Silicon
Valley.
Yeah,
DMA, they went on to be Rockstar North Limited.
Oh my goodness. And look at that box art. Is that not just like the epitome of a Nintendo 64 box art, you know?
Like, I know, it's so good.
It really is. It's worth reading up about the game. It's really quite interesting. It was originally going to be developed as a PC game, and I think they said PlayStation in there as well, but it turned out that the machines weren't powerful enough to run it. So it ended up on the Nintendo 64, and it was a bit ahead of its time in some ways. I think it's got like a physics engine running under the hood. The way things work, I've seen some glitches that you can do in the game that look very much to be like physics glitches. And I know the animation system was a bit procedural. So if you've got like a four-legged creature that you're in control of as you run around on a slope, the legs that are higher up the slope will be sort of bunched up a bit, so that the feet contact the ground rather than clipping in through the scenery.
Yeah, I'm watching a video right now. It looks
this
pretty
game
cool.
sounds.
Is it fun?
Cool.
It's really, really good fun. I mean, it's total slapstick. It's really silly. Basically, you control a microchip that has been smashed out of a robot, and he's dying. So you quickly jump into a robot dog that your spaceship crashed into, which caused your robot to blow up. And you take control of the dog. So the dog can run around, it can jump a bit, and it can bite. Hence violence. So you go and attack a sheep, and then you can swap control to the sheep. So that clue about you only see your character briefly is when you're swapping from one creature to another is the only time. Because when your character's exposed to the elements, he's actually dying. So you've got to stay in control of one of these other creatures. But when you're a sheep, you've got no attack, but you can float, because obviously sheep are made of cloud. So they you float from one place to another.
My goodness.
And that's how the whole game goes. It's just
cool.
daft.
It's like a sandboxy type of, like, you know what this game reminds me of? Human Fall Flat. That's what this game reminds me of.
Right, I've not played that game.
Have you seen that game, Mick? Have you ever played that before?
I've seen it, but not seen it to pay enough attention to know much about it.
It's funny. It's like kind of using the environment, figuring out puzzles to get to different places. I like the idea, the mechanic of your little microchip, and then you just go around it.
Yeah,
you just
jump ship. Yeah, it's really cool.
How many? Cool. It looks like there's a whole bunch of different characters or creatures you could jump into, right? Like it looks like I just saw them like a bird of some sort.
I totally lost count of how many there are. You control a fish at one point. You're on some sort of rocket sled bear, or is it a fox? So there's a fox that can shoot missiles at some point. There's a king penguin that flies with basically a rocket up its backside. So,
oh my goodness.
And that can drop bombs, hence the weapons and the violence. But I mean, it's all totally comedic. It's cartoony. It's absolutely brilliant. I would really recommend anyone who can get over it to play it. I mean, it's hard playing N64 games.
Yeah, it looks pretty
fantastic.
Good, actually.
I'm just like watching some. It's like full of N64 charm. I'm watching that little penguin video.
The snowy level.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for snow levels.
Oh, me too. And you're walking around as like a little penguin, and like you can switch it to like first person penguin cam, and then like he walks by other penguins and it just says, "I love you." The other penguins.
Yes.
There's so many things. You know, there's like you're throwing snowballs, and when he jumps off of a cliff, he has like a little umbrella that he floats with. It's amazing.
Yeah.
This game looks so much fun.
Yeah, this game looks
it is such a good game. It is. It really is. And if anyone from Rockstar's listening, go talk to people high up in your company and see if Four Horses can port this to modern systems, because I'd love to get my hands on it.
Would you do that?
Could you imagine? That'd be awesome.
Could you?
ACA.
Oh, I'd love to.
Like do the polygonal stuff like this?
No, but how hard can it be?
I have no idea.
He'll figure it out.
There's a lot of things I'd not done before that I've done now, because you just gotta go for it. You don't think about, can you do it? Someone can, so why can't you? Just go for it.
All right,
it's a good mentality. I like it. Yeah, no, this game. I'm looking. Is that he's running around as one of the sheep? I guess you said, or maybe he's a cow. He's got spots on it.
This game looks like so much fun.
There's so many different creatures. I'd forgotten so much about it.
It's filling me with that N64 nostalgia, like everything about it.
Oh,
it
looks, definitely.
Sounds,
I mean,
it looks so much fun.
It looks just like it. Yeah.
And you know what? Pretty impressive looking game, like running and everything. Like it looks like it's a solid frame rate and everything, and like the snow and it's Christmas.
The frame rate does get a bit choppy in places, but the draw distance is pretty good.
Yeah, the draw distance looks great.
But someone actually did a Game Boy Color version. I think it might have been Game Boy Color only. But don't quote me on that. Obviously, it's a 2D side view, but they managed to do a really fantastic job of recreating the levels and the puzzles in them. There's a web page I've got a link to that's got quite a nice comparison by someone who's obviously a fan of a game, and then underneath the Game Boy comparison, they then also compare the PlayStation version, which I worked on.
What?
Which is how I know the game exists.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the first development company that I worked for, I was a project manager at the time, or an assistant project manager. I wasn't a programmer. We basically were tasked with creating a version of this game, and we made an awful mess of it. This review basically says it's the laziest port of all time, which is a bit harsh, because a lazy port is where you basically just take the existing code, spew it out on another machine, and it just works, and that's what you want. Unfortunately, I mean, like I said, this game was originally going to be made for PC, and a PC couldn't cope with it. The PlayStation couldn't cope with it, so the amount of cuts and changes and compromises we had to make to get the PlayStation up, I hated it by the end, because I'm the sort of person who, if I work on a game, particularly if it's a conversion of an existing game, I want it to be as good as the original one was, and what we produced was not. So yeah.
So played on the N64 then?
Say it again, sorry?
I said, so play the N64 version?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, God, don't go near the PlayStation version. I mean, they changed its name. I don't know why. We were told by the publisher to do it. They changed its name.
Space Adventures?
You worked on Evo Space Adventures.
And it was an abomination. To my shame, I did.
That's pretty cool, man.
To my shame.
I mean, like, that you actually got to work on this game, in a sense, you got to work on it.
I wish I'd had more influence and could have done something to make it as good as the original. But I mean, like I said, I wasn't a programmer at the time, and as I understand it, the PlayStation was never going to do as good a job as the N64.
Right.
The N64 is just too powerful compared to the PlayStation. So
yeah, looking at it definitely looks smoother on the N64.
I like the idea that it might run on a 3DS. That would be awesome,
dude.
Stereoscopic 3D graphics.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, Ocarina of Time runs on it, so why not? So yeah,
true,
Rockstar, if you're listening, contact me.
We start shooting out some emails to Rockstar. Come on, boys. If you thought Red Dead did well,
dude, I tell you what, I'd much rather play this game than Red Dead. Not because Red Dead doesn't look amazing, but just because this looks so much. It's so cute.
Red Dead.
Yeah, you know, it's like when I look at Red Dead, it's like the life commitment right there. You know, the learning and everything.
Yeah. It's like I totally understand what they're going for, but it's like the realism. But it's like, yeah, but I don't want to have to travel spaces long distances to. You know, it's like just give me that fast travel, baby.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I would love to play it. Like, in a certain frame of mind, I would have loved it. But you know, I got too many games as it is. You know. But anyway.
Yeah. No, thank you.
What a wonderful selection, Mick. I have never heard of this game.
Yeah, it's very good.
I mean, I'm sure I've heard it mentioned before, like on a podcast, and sounds vaguely familiar, you know. But I haven't ever heard anything about it. And looking at it now, it looks like so much fun. And it really gives me total Rare vibes, like Diddy Kong Racing and 64.
Well, like you said, it is an N64 game
snow level
for sure.
It just looks amazing. And
yeah,
it's a piece of the time,
is.
You know, like that is totally N64 nostalgia.
So great.
Well, and another L in the column for us, Perry.
You know what's funny is
sorry.
When Alex, Mr. Panda, and the Bivs and Mick, all of our guestry histories have been big ol' L's.
Been slamming it down on us, yeah.
Yep. What we need to do is we need to have someone come on and we'll give them the game we want them to do.
Like I said, we need a Mario 3.
Yeah.
Nice little toss up. It's one of the most iconic games of all time.
Hit number 1. It's a sequel.
And we'll probably still get it wrong. Like,
Super Mario Bros. 2.
It's the third sequel. Yeah, it's the second sequel in one of the most popular Nintendo mascot franchises of all time. Is it Donkey Kong 3?
Well, thank you so much, Mick, for coming on and giving us some more mystery history. It's so much fun.
Yes,
I'm happy I got to learn about this.
No problem at all. Honestly, check the game out. If you see it on Craigslist, get it bought.
I totally will. In fact, I should look for it right now. I looked on Amazon. You can get one for like $22. So that's not too bad.
I'm looking on eBay. It looks like the going price is about $20, give or take.
Yeah, so that sounds fun to me. The only thing is like, that's
gotta bust out the N64.
You know, the 64 is like the worst system for playing on a modern TV, unless you have like one of those hacked, crazy HDMI.
Oh, there you go.
ones.
Look, there's a lot. Gauntlet Legends and Space Station Silicon Valley. $60. Yeah,
that's a lot more.
Yeah, I wonder how much Gauntlet Legends is.
Anyway.
It's
just, you know, playing 64 games now, like, you know, unless you have like some sort of HDMI converter, like on an HD TV, it's like the worst. With GameCube, you can play them on your Wii through an HDMI cable. It's not too bad. Like, you know what I mean? It's a little easier to hook up and everything. It looks better. But yeah, 64 games
You need to have the
tough.
CRT to really enjoy that N64 era. But
what you should do is buy it so you're legal and then just download a ROM, because there's someone in the community who's going to patch the ROM anyway to fix that bug with the collectible. And play it on emulator, because I've seen a YouTube video on emulator where it's 1080p 60 frames a second. It looks gorgeous.
Cool. Oh yeah, the stuff they could do with the emulation is crazy.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. Just to have one like sitting on the shelf. But I'm glad you filled our brains with more good info on Nintendo history.
Yes,
which is the point.
We're learning.
Of mystery history.
We're learning.
Yes, we are learning.
Very true.
But with that, we say goodbye to Mick.
Dad, thank you.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, if you want to give out the old where the peeps can find you, we always like to do that on the end here.
Yeah, I'm on the Twitters at 4horsesgames, so FOUR Horses Games, or 4horses.co.uk on the webpage.
Yeah, wait.
Yeah, it's almost
Mick,
tea time.
Are you coffee or tea? Oh,
mostly coffee, but I do like tea.
You know, do you have tea time?
Define tea time as in the time of the day when you drink a cup of tea, or time when you eat a meal in the evening. Because where I'm from, we call tea time the evening meal time rather than dinner time.
I wish that we had like tea time, like a yeah.
All right, boys, it's tea time.
Afternoon tea.
We have afternoon tea, which is where you have a cup of tea and a copious amounts of cake and biscuits and maybe some sandwiches.
That sounds.
Tell me about
delicious.
the Danish you got before. That sounds so good. How are you describing it?
Yeah.
I got Danish fever.
Well, I won't tell you
please
what
do.
we got today from my little trip to the cake shop. Okay, so Marks and Spencer's, I don't know if you have that over there. They do these little tubs of cakes, and I've got some mini chocolate tea cakes, which is the marshmallow wrapped in chocolate with a bit of biscuit underneath, and some Rice Krispie toffee bites that are also covered in chocolate.
And when you say
Just
biscuit,
too nice.
you mean cookie? Because biscuits.
Oh, of course, yes.
Fluffy
Sorry,
and delicious.
cookie. Yeah.
You know.
Some weird things.
Well, you know what? Biscuits.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry over here,
like
boys.
chocolate biscuits. That sounds so good. Like compared to chocolate cookies. Like biscuits is way
it really does.
more appetizing. Appetite inducing.
I believe the word biscuits comes from a language where it means twice baked, which makes more sense for our use of the word because biscuits are dry and hard rather than soft, doughy weirdness that you put gravy on.
You can put gravy on it. Biscuits and gravy is delicious. Or just a nice
that's a
straight up butter on it. Oh, split it in half and it's just and the steam comes out, like when you're holding it in your hands and you split it in half, put the butter on. I'm gonna go get lunch right now.
I was gonna say it
sounds
it's almost
incredibly
time
amazing.
to be eating something.
I'll have to go get that right now. That's the beauty of recording early in the morning, or like during the days that, instead of winding down at night and going to bed afterwards,
you just ramp up to our meals. Time
this
to
is
eat.
an interesting experiment for how you can see where our attitudes throughout the day. All right, well. Sorry for that very long outro, but see you later, Mick.
Yes.
See you later.
Thanks again.
Oh, I always love me a good guestry history. And that was a good one. A very fun topic about a game that I'd never heard of. Nolan Void. Volanoid.
And I believe David's back.
Yep. David, did you get those stickers made?
I got stuff done.
All right. Okay.
He got some scones.
I got stuff done.
You don't even want to know what he got done because he's a sicko.
This glass is empty now. That's for sure.
Oh, you didn't fill it up before you came back?
I didn't say that.
It was empty. But yeah, before we check out here, we do have a nice little email from Holden.
Listener, man.
Who is so kind to write us, more often than not. He's always sending in great emails. So we've got one here again, and he says, I have a simple question this week. We've all been aboard the hype train before, but there's also times when one is on the tracks and gets run over by the aforementioned train. Then he says, was there ever a time when other people's excitement was a total mystery to you and maybe even left you a little chafed? Thanks for the show.
Okay.
And we felt like this was a good time to bring this question out with the Smash hype sort of boiling over at this point.
I feel like this email was brought on for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, Perry is you're on board with me where you just have zero there's excitement, but I think everyone else's overexcitement has made me not excited.
Yeah, I'm kind of perplexed. Actually, it's funny. I was just playing Mario Kart with Nicholas Bray tonight. We were talking about this, and it's just kind of like it's just more Smash, So, and it's like the same exact game, basically. It's really not so different. So, yes, I'm there day one, but I'm not super excited about it. I'm not excited at all for it.
And just, I should mention, this question doesn't necessarily have to be in regards to Smash, but it is topical. It makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'm looking forward to it for sure, especially since I'm looking forward to a juicy, meaty thing to play on Switch, like, for sure. But, like, I'm not, like, on any sort of hype train. Like, do you know what I'm on the hype train for? Is for Kingdom 2 Crowns. Oh, my goodness.
Resident Evil 2 remake?
Me and David are going to be playing that together.
Oh, what about chopped liver?
Yep, you got that straight. I'm just kidding. No, because that's online co-op. The whole game is online co-op. Drop in, drop out, I believe. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I'm excited for that one,
dude. Oh man.
Yeah, I'm on board, boys.
Yeah. Cool. Well, then we'll all play. It'll be great. I think that would be a fun. If we can try to do some sort of Amiibros thing with that, that'd be cool.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, I mean, but I like this question because for like tempering expectations, it's funnily enough, I think one of the biggest hype train things where hype train wrecks, was funnily enough Skyward Sword. Isn't that funny that we just talked about this? And I think if I'm getting the question right, I mean, it's just for me personally, I was so, and I guess for other people too, so hyped for that game coming out. First of all, it took forever to come out. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it was like supposed to come out like 3 years beforehand. Reminds you of another little game called Breath of the Wild. But, you know, we were waiting so long for it, and finally it came out. And, you know, it was getting really good reviews and everything. And I remember playing the game, and I was like, at first I was like, man, this art style is not grabbing me. This motion controls are not working that well. And I'm not super into this game the first time I played that game. Like, and that kind of felt devastating. But it is also part of my love for that game, because then I needed to, like, I took a break from it, and I remember coming back to it and really getting way into it and realizing the error of my ways. But I just remember at first it was kind of like I was like totally overhyped, and it was like, oh no, I really don't like this. So I don't know if that's like what Holden's talking about, but I kind of built it up so much in my head that it was, it's going to be amazing, and it wasn't.
It's funny with Skyward Sword too, is because I remember that was, all right, so it was 2011. That was the year I graduated college. So that was, college was pretty much the period of time in my life that I played Nintendo the least. So it was one of those, like, I remember I got it, I played it, and I was like, I remember just like getting to a point where I was like, I don't know if it was like I don't want to play this anymore, or if it was just like a point of like, oh, I haven't played it for a couple days, like, I don't really care to go back. And I just had like that come to moment. I'm like, this is a freaking Zelda game, dude. Like, what are you doing? And I was like, I need to play this through, because I know it's going to be good, you know what I mean? And then from that point on, I went and I played and enjoyed it. But as far as Smash goes, I'm on like I'm getting more excited now. I think, like you said, it is more Smash, but it will be different. I'm looking forward to getting in there. I'm looking forward to playing some of the new characters. I remember when 3DS Smash came out, I played that game for hours on end. I remember coming home from work and just like 6-7 hours just playing like nonstop. So I'm curious to see if I'm going to be able to replicate that feeling. I do want to try and play a little more competitively, because like I think it'll be a good option to get out and meet some people going to tournaments and stuff. Especially being new to the area. But I am excited for it. I don't get so excited where I'm like dying at every single direct. Like, I need to know characters, and I want these set of characters in there, otherwise I'm going to be angry. I'm more of like that. I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to watch some probably pretty cool CG trailers and know I'm going to enjoy playing this game. But I can't think of any other, like, where he actually says, like, where other people's excitement was a total mystery. Because I feel like even if I'm not into the game, I could appreciate that, like, there are people that are super into those games, like, pretty much, like, like Red Dead 2 came out, like,
right.
I got a little into it. I was like not even being a guy who picked that game up or ever play, like, any Red Deads. Like, I get it. I get the excitement for a game that comes around so very like rarely. Especially a Rockstar game is such high budge and all that stuff. But I don't know. It's like I think even other people's hype and excitement I can appreciate, and I even feed into it a little bit. Like even Red Dead, like a little. Like there was a time I was like, man, maybe I should pick up Red Dead. I'm like, no. Like there's no time for you to play this game, dude. And then like honestly, the reviews came out, and I don't think it'd be a game I'd enjoyed that much. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's ever been a time where I was like completely dumbfounded by it. But yeah.
Yeah, I've got an example for each one. The first one for the beat, like I was on the Octopath Traveler hype train.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I was so excited for that game, and I was waiting, and it just, when I got it, it just didn't get me, and I.
Oh, which game? Sorry.
Octopath Traveler.
Oh, dude, I'll agree with you completely. There's too much, and we're RPG men, so it's like we get the grind. You know what I mean? But man, the grinding was stupid in that game, dude.
Yeah, and it just the story wasn't catching me, and I mean, I enjoyed the combat, but I mean, it wasn't enough to overcome like all the other problems that were there. It kind of reminds me of our Ni no Kuni 2 experience.
Oh no, yeah, that was a
where we were so hyped, and then we were like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but that game was beautiful. I'll give it that much.
Yep, and then my example for when other people's excitement was a total mystery to me was before I had discovered Persona, because I kept on hearing about Persona 5, and I'm like, what is this game? Never heard of it. And then when I finally got to play it, it blew my mind. It's maybe...
Knock those socks off?
Yeah, like, it's in best game ever played conversation.
It really is fantastic. And I feel like such a fraud. Casey the fraud. Never even beat it.
Oh, yeah. You're what's that Red Dead quote? You're not a real gamer if you had or you're in a coma.
Something like yeah. Rootin', tootin', shootin' game or whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you're missing out. It's a terrific ending and man.
I got like I'm like dead smack in the middle too. So I'm in that like category of like, man, it would be great to start this up again, but I'm like far enough in where it's like I don't want to start over, but I'm not far enough for like towards the end where it's like, man, maybe I just should start over. And then it's like, well, just come to the Switch. I know it never will, but
yeah. Like, and I don't think I can actually like name my favorite game of all time because I've got a handful of them.
Yeah, they rotate.
But that's definitely one of them.
Wow. Nice.
Sweet. Alrighty, well, thank you so much, Holden, for the great email, as always. If you, or anyone listening, I should say, wants to write in, you can email us at talknintendopodcast@Nintendo World Report. You can tweet at us at talknintendopod. That's talknintendo POD. And then, yeah,
I just wanted to see what happened if I didn't say it.
And you can also find David. Why don't you tell the fine folks where they can find you on the Thirsty Mage, Twitter, all that jazz?
Yeah, well, all over the place now. So, I guess the hub would be you can now go to thethirstymage.com, and from there the Thirsty Mage podcast. If you want to listen to that, it's there. If you want to follow on Twitter, the link's there as well. The Twitter handle is The Thirsty Mage. And I've also got a RPG Thirsty Mage YouTube channel set up. So if you're looking to find some reviews on some non-Nintendo RPGs, they are going up there. Yeah, so so the games actually that I talked about earlier in the show are all up there. So the PC version of This War of Mine, the DLC, and Frostpunk are all on there, as well as a couple other Steam games. So there's just my hunger for RPGs has grown beyond Nintendo. I have to have a little appetizer of Steam.
You are a mad man.
Just when there's not enough time in the day, David explores the wonders of Steam.
That's right.
Well, thanks for coming on, man. It's always good having you on.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, I'm beat.
I'm hungry.
I'm thirsty.
And that's this week's episode of the Talk Nintendo Podcast.
There we go. Have a good week, everyone.
See ya.
You bring in one of those guests that make all the other guests seem way better, you know? BB Bloxburg Big Broom Race 3.
I'm confused. I heard someone clap on 2.
Okay, so it was working this time.
That's so funny.
I'll just do it early.
Don't do it early. That would defeat the whole point. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, there we go. That was a good one.
Well, now you're in the future. What the heck? All right, and we're back with the eShop Roundup, in which
eHaw. A BB Bloxburg Big Broom Race 2.
Where a brave stump of tree will chase a lumberjack.
Grab your big brooms for BB's Bloxburg's Big Burger Bash Brace. News.
Talk.
Nin.
10.
No.
Yeah.
Predicament. Oh no. Yeah, this story mode sucks.